back in the lab. Good to get a victory in a hostile environment. Appreciated the support of Steeler Nation, man. They traveled awesome today. It's spectacular to stand on the visiting sideline and see the fan support that we had in this building today.
And of course, there was a lot of fan support, as Coach Tomlin alluded to there. Hello, everyone. I'm Justin LaBar, being joined by Steelers beat writer Scott Brown. We're here in Ford Field, 59,333 people. I don't know how many, Scott, were Steeler fans, how many Detroit. It was close, but all in all, 28-20 was the game they saw. Steelers on the positive side of that, Big Ben, 277 yards, 3 touchdowns. How about James Harris on the defensive side? 7 tackles, 3 sacks, 1 forced fumble. And just for the record, first game in Detroit for the Black and Gold since Super Bowl 40. Lions, William James had an interception that he ran back for a touchdown. First one of those for the Lions since December 23rd, 2007. Steelers defense, 7 sacks in the game, 8 coming into it all season. And of course, rookie wide receiver Mike Wallace, first touchdown of his career, called up with Mike and asked him what it means to get the weight off of his shoulders.
Finally got the weight off my shoulder, just not having a touchdown. And every week, all my friends always calling me, asking me when I'm going to get one. You know, it's coming. Every week I always be like, I'm going to get one this week. And I never get one. So finally, when they call me, I can be like, I got one.
Mike Wallace indeed get one. Of course, it will not be his last, I would have to assume. And Scott, let's bring in your 2 cents now. The Steeler defense, all in all, 110 yards they give up on the rushing side. They give up 225 yards passing. That's 335 total. Is that acceptable going up against the Lions offense?
Well, I guess it's acceptable because they got the win. They have their first winning streak of the young season. They're 3-2. They're in good shape relative to the division, especially with the Ravens losing today. However, James Harrison might have put it best at the end of the game when he said, hey, I'm content because we got the win, but I'm not satisfied. The Lions drove down there at the end, got inside the 25-yard line, had a chance to score that touchdown, and they would have gone for 2 had they made that. Then the Steelers are at the whim of a coin flip as far as who gets the ball in that overtime, and who knows what can happen. But you know what? When it mattered most, they were finally able to finish something that's been a problem for them, quite frankly, this season. They sacked Culpepper 3 straight times, just completely collapsed the pocket on him, and they survived. So, any win is a good win, but there's still some issues out there. And one thing, I was able to talk to Ryan Clark after the game, and I said, hey, do you feel like you kind of weathered this stretch without Troy? Because I believe Troy Polamalu will return from the sprained knee that's been keeping him out. And he said, yes, they do. Troy Polamalu is that kind of player that I think his return, which will probably happen next week, will make that defense a lot better, and we'll probably see it on the field.
And, of course, next week, going home against Cleveland. Got 2 at home, Cleveland, and then Minnesota, and then the bye. And real quick, Rashard Mendenhall, 1 touchdown, I believe 77 yards. Not as good as he was last week against San Diego, but as Coach Tomlin said in his press conference, he didn't get as many touches on the ball because of the way the Lions defense dictated their play calling. A lot of questions about Willie Parker and is he going to be at the organization after this year? Are we slowly seeing the changing of the guard? Is Rashard Mendenhall securing his spot as a number 1?
Yeah, and it's funny. Bruce Arians, the offensive coordinator, said at the end of last week, hey, Willie's still our guy right now. Rashard Mendenhall does not have enough of a body of work for me to really reconsider their roles. But he added, let's see what he does in Detroit. And the kid I thought he had a very solid game. He was dominant in the first half when the Steelers controlled the clock. And as you said, part of the reason he didn't do a whole lot in the second half were the adjustments the Lions made, and also the fact they held the ball. They had the ball for over 12 minutes in the third quarter. And, I think that really played into Mendenhall not doing a whole lot in the second half. But I'll tell you what, 2 back-to-back games where he's looked really good, and a lot of us are asking, where has this been? But it looks like it's here now. I don't know what was done or what message was sent when Mike Tomlin demoted him a couple of weeks ago, but something has clicked in that kid's head. And in the short term, I think he might be the guy at running back, and in the long term, Willie Parker's in the last year of his contract, and I think it's very doubtful he returns unless it's at some sort of discounted rate.
Only time will tell. We will find out. We only have to wait a week until we see the Steelers again. As we said, at home next week against Cleveland. Scott will be there. I'll be there. John Harris. All the guys from the Trib will be there. You can read them on TribLive.com. Read the articles and columns, or you can pick up a copy of the Trib at your nearest newsstand. That's going to do it. 28-20. Steelers come out victorious in the Motor City. For Scott Brown, I'm Justin LaBar.